Alright guys, we're back for yet another Bleach Brave Souls video, and I did want to get this out a little bit early, but considering we did get news for mid-month and more stuff that was incoming, I just figured that I may as well redo this entire thing and just re-elaborate what you guys should be expecting for the 10th anniversary, how many orbs you need to get to at least be able to pity your favorite upcoming characters, which is going to be in like 3, 4, or even 5 different banners that we'll need to summon in like just a matter of a couple of months, and how to get yourselves ready and to stop wasting your orbs on all these bait banners. Anniversary officially starts on July 23rd, but with the way of how they've changed mid-month banners to work now, you guys can easily expect the 10th anniversary part 1 banner to be on July 19th like last year we had for Grammy and Kenpachi. But before that, a whole month early, we are going to be getting the 10th anniversary prelude banner, where we can expect an anniversary remake, and of course outside of that we'll have a part 2 and 3 to the 10th anniversary. That's what we're talking about. The fact of the matter is that we've had 3 different reruns already within the same week, as you guys can see right here. Now, this Toshiro Sajin and Soifun banner is going to be leaving tomorrow. Mugetsu and Giselle, they're both going to be leaving somewhere in the same similar time frame. And the crazy thing about all of these banners right here is that right now they're not worth summoning for anymore. These 2 banners in particular, for 2 good reasons. One, these characters are going to become a year old, and they are going to be in the filler for the 10th anniversary part 2 banner. This character right here, same thing. He's going to become a year old by a month from now, and he might even be available as a filler for June mid-month. And if it's not June mid-month, then it's going to be for Anniversary Part 1. And both of the banners have terrible fillers, which is literally the whole point of getting you baited, wasting your orbs, and then having little to no orbs for the anniversary. And it's less orbs to summon on those said banners, regardless of all things. And this one, okay, yeah, Giselle and Zombietta still have their usage for their own Guild Quest rotations, but it's gonna take a little bit longer for them to become a filler, as it hasn't been a full year yet. But it is a possibility when they're 8 months old that they might start appearing as fillers, but also because the banner itself is pretty freaking terrible when it comes to the fillers. Not good. All 3 of these banners don't have value, and I would expect the same goddamn thing when Asnot does get his rerun, because it's been data mined. It's gonna be returning on the 26th, I believe. So you guys do not want to summon on anything else. The last banner to summon on was Golden Week, because that had a lot of good value. Even though the characters, in my opinion, needed to be a little better, it was still very good. Now, it's time to get into saving mode and what we can expect for the anniversary. So, already, we expected that mid-month of May would not be anything crazy in particular, and as a matter of fact, it's an easy skip. You guys don't need to worry about this banner whatsoever. It's just 2 farming characters that are both SP. Like, I would not really recommend doing any steps on this banner whatsoever, even though the first step is 50 orbs. I mean, it is tempting, I'll be honest, but if you're like missing half of the filler and you want to try your luck, then sure, go ahead and do the first step. It's only 50 orbs, it's only 2 singles, you'll be able to get that back in no time. But I would not advise going past step 1, because you're not spending 200 orbs for this type of banner in particular, where there's little to no value. I'm gonna be honest. If you go to step 10, bro, you're a crackhead. I would not even recommend doing that when the banner just has nothing good in this one. And to compare to last year's, we did get the VL Ichigo and Rimjiao banner, which was something similar to this. The only difference is that we had a GQ Nadbot in the mix, which was this Grimjiao right here, and he aged terribly for Guild Quest. Nobody ever really used him as soon as we got Ishin less than 2 weeks later, actually, which is crazy to even think about. So it was kind of pointless to even use this character in Ichigo. He was just a fun character for farming droplets and nothing more. He needed to be a little bit better, because he doesn't farm potions, super potions. You will need to give him like links for that. So yeah, and the banner was very bad. So May mid-month is always going to be an easy skip, and this banner did not have the 50 orb multi in particular. So Yeah, just letting you guys know right now. But what we can expect for May end of month is going to be a 1,000-year blower banner. Now, whether you guys choose to summon for end of month really entirely depends on you, because there's a good chance that we may even see finally maybe Sunflower Mayuri. We could potentially see a zombie unit in the mix. Or, I don't know, we can still get the likes of Bankai Rose, some of the missing Stern Ritters. Like, we still do not have access to BG9, believe it or not. Like, this banner could literally be anything, but at the same time, lads, this might be an easy skip because I have the Guild Quest schedule pulled up, and we can predict what kind of killer is going to be coming our way. And would you look at this? June 2nd ranged hollow. Now this coincides perfectly for the end of month banner. Melee Ronker and Melee Human, forget about these. This is just to coincide with the As Not Rerun banner, just to get you guys to summon on the Overcooked and the Fear. So this is literally the reason why we have these GQ rotations. Here it's important to note. Now, whatever this new character we get for ranged hollow, if you do not have access to the likes of 9th Anniversary Grim, which I'm pretty sure that if you guys have logged in right now, right, you guys still have the 100 million downloads ticket, okay? If you have not used it, you have already Kenpachi and Mugetsu, you can pick up Grammy, and you'll still be able to clear the guild quest just fine. There's no need to summon on the new character. Even more reason, if you guys have them from 2-5 to 5 out of 5. If you guys have them 5 out of 5, there's no reason to summon on the end of month banner, especially given the fact that at 5-5, he can get 54 seconds. Good old Oyaji put him into the test, and he did get it. Albeit, it's a lot of RNG, a lot of resets, but he can do it. He can get 51 plus seconds remaining consistently when it comes to range solo. So, like, there's not really too much of a need to summon unless you're really that much of a crackhead. Melee no affiliation, I do predict that Shinji is going to be returning soon, the Parasol one, or we could be getting a normal attacking character for the likes of Melee no affiliation guild quest, as we are lacking a GQ bot for that, since, you know, that GQ rotation just has Wonderweiss. Don't have a booster as a normal attacking character. So, like it or not, this is going to be a 2-character banner in which we get the GQ bot for Melee no affiliation and a new SP lead for ranged hollow. Whether it's going to be an actual GQ lead with Frenzy 3 extra killer effect or anything of that kind of sort, that character might be better than Remy, performance-wise, with just little to no dupes, realistically speaking. But if it's a Limit Breaker quest lead, similar to how we have gotten Shinji and Magic Society Giselle, Grammy is going to be just fine. So, like, you don't need to summon in particular. But Ishin back then, he was a crackhead, one of the best mind characters in the game, and he ended up being better than Yuha. In the end, aged spectacularly well for Limit Breaker. Masaki was just another ranged Spada lead. That being said, not too crazy good, I'll be honest, and she ended up aging badly, and well, Cure just completely replaced this character. So, yeah, very good chance that end of month is going to be a 2-character banner, just to transition well with what we'll be getting for mid-month of June. Because mid-month of June, this is going to be a must-summon banner, okay? Why I say mid-month is going to be a must-summon banner? Well, we have an anniversary remake to expect to come out. There's a very high probability that we'll get this format again, where you'll be able to get a pity ticket by just going to step 10. And that, lads, I'll tell you how much orbs it's going to require, okay? You just need a flat 2,000 orbs. That's literally all you need for this. And you'll be able to guarantee one of the 3 new characters. And from here, I'm gonna be honest, I am expecting the likes of 5th Anniversary Byakuya, maybe even Ichigo, to finally get a good-ass remake and be very broken. Whether it's gonna be being as good as Mugetsu, being a really fantastic skill, and still being great to use in PvE content, or could be something along the lines of being fantastic in Guild Quest, and we'll get to see why in a minute, and still being a cracked unit overall. We'll just have to wait and see about that. Maybe it'll be in the mix of something similar to this, where we had Parasol, Shunsui, and Nanao get remakes, or we could see something crazy, considering this is the 10th anniversary. I will not be doubting the possibility that we could see both 5th anniversary Ichigo, Byakuya, and potentially 6th anniversary Aizen getting remade in one banner. It is a very high possibility that it can happen, so this is easily 2,000 orbs that you guys want to keep for this banner, just to be able to guarantee one of the anniversary remakes, whatever it may be. I do expect one of them to come. I don't know which, because it hasn't been confirmed. Yeah, I'm just letting you guys know. And oh, look at the summary. I didn't even do this on purpose, and I just somehow cleaned. Bro, I'm still a K-Lab spy, even with the simulator. I don't know. But yeah, this was just to see the total orb math that you need for this banner, just to remind myself, because the first step is like 50 orbs, which is crazy to even think about. But yeah, this is easily going to be a must-summon banner to take a look into. And even more so, when you look at this screenshot right here, okay? And sadly, this is where our current one ends. By the time we hit June 26th or June 23rd, we should be getting a new schedule in which we can predict the killers for, like, the anniversary characters. So, I'm just saying, that being said, for mid-month, it is important that you guys summon, because guess what? Range Sternritter is among the mix. Meaning, yes, that unit is potentially going to be replacing Holobankai Toshiro, and be better, with little to no dupes. And I'm gonna be honest, Toshiro, with a low dupe level, he does suck. I don't deem him to be very good, and if you don't have him duped out, you'll barely get 50 seconds, and you cannot clear the extra waves unless you're running Swimsuit Candace to even clear them all out, meaning that this is going to be a bit of a struggle fest, and we'll get people to summon. Now, as for the other killers in the mix, I don't see Melee Quincy getting anything at all. Ichigo is fantastic. If anything, this just coincides with Parasol Shinji's return banner, because Ruruka is in the banner. That's literally it. Melee Sternritter, though, it's a bit of a weird one. It's oddly placed, unless they are, you know, featuring Christmas Grammy and Lil Toto in the Shinji rerun banner, as it has already been 6+ months, and we could probably see them in Shinji's banner, since they are a seasonal 1,000-year blower character. So, it's possible, but Range Captain and Melee Squad Zero, I know it's a bit too soon, but we could potentially see some replacements for both 1,000-year blower Rukia and 1,000-year blower Candace, just to completely overhaul the Guild Quest rotations. And look, I know it's a bit too soon, but let's not forget, Shinji got completely replaced by Full Holo Ichigo. And Full Holo Ichigo did so much better than Shinji, it's not even funny. I'm not kidding when I say this, for the likes of Guild Quest. So if we were to get something of that kind of nature, I can definitely expect it for one of these Guild Quest rotations. And the thing is, both Rukia and Candace lack an EX move. So there's that to take into consideration. And Rukia's kit is a lot linear compared to Candace, because, you know, you just have, like, non-proccing SA2, and Candace is, like, full of beams, and barely has much of an AoE like the SA2, which is a suction vortex into beam, but you guys get the point. It's a good possibility that we'll see replacements for Rukia and Candace, but that leaves to be seen. Melee Espada, I think that before Swimsuits, they are going to be rerunning this guy one last time and give us a Brave Fest for him, and potentially Grammy. Now, Ranged Hollow, the same thing can be stated, but because the last boss, I got word of it, it is a power boss, meaning that Remy will have typing disadvantage, but honestly speaking, I think it's going to be fine. Remy is a crackhead, he can still clear the Guild Quest just fine, and if you have Shunsui, you're more than fine just to clear the Guild Quest. There's also a good chance that they might want to throw in Remy's Brave Fest here, but I kind of doubt it. But, if anything, this type of Guild Quest, considering last year, around this time, we did have a dual Brave Fest with the 8th anniversary characters. Something of that kind of nature is going to happen again, where we will see Remy and Kenpachi return in the same banner. And I'm gonna obviously say that right now, you guys should not summon on that, because we are going to see Remy and Kenpachi return as fillers by then. Which is why it's important to not summon on all these type of bait banners. Overall, just don't do it. It's not worth it. So, yeah. That's pretty much it. As for the prelude to the 10th anniversary, it's going to be something really big to summon on. Now, end of month of June, we're going to be getting swimsuits. Last year, we had the swimsuit Bambis, which were really, really good. Really good characters. Candace aged like fine wine. Bambietta, she got her main lead kind of taken from Asnot, but she still works as a side unit to use. And Minenya is just a good farmer, realistically speaking. There's nothing much to keep into consideration, but normally it would be in your best interest to skip swimsuits, because while they're good, they just kind of normally don't hold the test of time too well, unless they're farmers like Minenya in this kind of case. Like, once you get Minenya, she's forever going to be good for farming content. And Bambi, let's just say that this kind of character, if you already had access to a 5/5 kill gauge, there was literally no need to summon on Swimsuit Bambi, and that was before we had the guild quest change, before we had the extra waves, all that kind of stuff. So, like, that was kind of the primary reason when it came to talking about Bambietta overall. But she was still a good character, just not much of a must summon. And these characters, thankfully, they are going to be returning in this kind of swimsuit banner altogether. Now, I'm not going to really tally up the orbs because it's really up to you guys. I would normally recommend skipping swimsuits because we're going to be getting way better characters in literally 19 days by the time this banner drops. So that's kind of the reason why. I forgot to talk about the characters, but the characters can literally be anyone. Considering every single end of month is a 1000-year blower type of banner, we can definitely expect a 1000-year blower seasonal banner in which we get characters from the 1000-year blower art style, and we can maybe see, I don't know, Lil Toto among the mix as well, maybe some other Stern Ritter, or we could see maybe Yoruichi in her 1000-year blower art style, other Soul Reapers. We'll have to wait and see about that. Like, it can be just about anything that will get people to simp over those characters and goon on them, really. But again, I would really recommend that you guys keep your orbs in check for the anniversary. And with that being said, the main meat and potatoes will have the anniversary banner, more so specifically Part 1. 9th anniversary, Kenpachi and Remy were the characters last year, and they were the best units in the game. Okay, as the time of me recording this video, it is May 17th. Guess what? They're still top 3 best units in the game. They have not fallen off in any way, shape, or form. Remy is a fucking king in Limit Break Request. In Guild Quest, albeit, even though his scores are a little lower compared to a lot of the new releases that we have gotten thus far, he still dominates, bro. He still can get 50 plus seconds and make his GQ so easy, even with the kit that he got. And Kenpachi, bro, this guy gets 57 seconds just like Ichigo, bro. Not much to state. Yeah, he just barely had to use for Limit Break Request because of his killer, but like, bro, he's so good. He's such a crackhead. I cannot call this guy bad. And so many people were calling this guy bad and saying Unohana was better when that was just so much cap. That being said, you definitely want to have 5,500 orbs for this type of banner in particular. But there is one thing to take into consideration. These characters are premium. And considering we're also talking about the prelude, they're also premium as well. But the thing is, when it comes to summoning on BBS tickets, let's say you have 5,000 plus BBS tickets saved, or like 9,999. Yes, there is going to be a chance that you can pull the characters, the premium units. But the thing is, there is also the possibility that you don't, considering the premium pool is diluted with over how many characters now? Yeah, we're talking about 338 characters, and Konan and Ururu are definitely going to be added into the premium summons. And with the anniversary remakes being considered as well as part 1 of the 10th anniversary, that's like 5 more characters to take into consideration. So like, it's a chance, but you gotta hit that low chance, realistically speaking. That being said, Kenpachi and Grammy are guaranteed to return. We'll be getting the new meta-defining units. I do expect Power and Mind to be the Part 1 characters and be on the same caliber as Fullbring Bankai Ichigo, Grammy, and Kenpachi, if not better than them. It just depends on what we will be getting out of the units. Is it going to be a 1,000-Year Blower themed anniversary, or is it going to be the return of original costume characters? Now, here's what I'm thinking. I think we might essentially see a chance of original versions of the characters return, and I do predict that we will be getting a 10th anniversary Ichigo. The reason why I say this is because we're not getting a 1,000-Year Blower Ichigo anytime soon until Core 4 gets fully animated and we get the characters from Core 4 and we get his true Bankai version. So like there isn't gonna be that much of an Ichigo that we can get this year out, and I just think it would make sense. And as for the second character, it can be anyone, but among the most popular characters, I think there's a good chance that we could potentially see either Grimmjow or Rukia for the 10th anniversary, since those are the only ones left that we have yet to get anniversary characters of. So we'll have to wait and see about that. I could still be wrong, and if it's a 1,000-Year Blower themed anniversary, I'm gonna be honest, bro, I would love to see Shunsui and Liege for the 10th anniversary. Or if not that, give us Ichibei versus Yuha from Core 3. I'll definitely say, for this one, I don't want to see GQ skills. I just want to see straight up Frenzy plus 3, 100% Berserker, SP boost, and that's all I want to see with cracked Limerick Breaker Quest stuff and our amazing Engil Quest. These types of units are the ones that are always amazing in both game modes. Like, if you have Frenzy too, and you have a high Berserker, you're normally good in Limit Breaker Quest, and in Guild Quest, just good, but you're kind of missing the stuff that all these GQ leads have been missing. And when it comes to GQ leads, you excel in GQ and are close to the best characters in the game, but outside of that, when it comes to Limit Breaker, it's normally not the best choice, realistically speaking, but the fact remains that every single character performs just as fine in PvE content. Now, let's just talk about the banner. What can we expect, besides Kenpachi and Grammy returning, and alongside the two new characters? I can definitely see Mugetsu coming back in this type of banner in particular. If we do not see him for June mid-month, he's going to be in here, no doubt, regardless of all things, and we'll probably get ourselves some updated premium characters along the line, so we can see Toshiro and Gin again, maybe Yumichika and Rin, even though they did rerun not too long ago in different banners as fillers, but we'll have to wait and see about that. Now, that being said, what I'm curious about is, will they add in some 1,000-Year Blower characters in here? Because we have gotten non-stop 1,000-Year Blower characters every single end of month, including seasonal characters, which are labeled 1,000-Year Blower still. So, like, if anything, I would at least love to see Christmas Retsu, Isane, and Nemu make a return, but it's kind of unlikely, man, but we'll have to wait and see. The reason why I say this is because Kenpachi and Grammy, right? When they returned, they had a poll selection-esque kind of banner, and the fillers were 1,000-Year Blower characters. We had the Swimsuit Bambis, I believe Yumichika Mininya, Orihime, Concord Ichigo. I don't remember the rest of the fillers, but it was nothing but 1,000-Year Blower characters. There were no premiums or seasonals in the mix when these characters returned for the first time. So I'm just saying. But yeah, I do expect Part 1 to be the meta-defining characters, and Part 2 will pretty much give us the PvP characters. So yeah, if you get lucky and you pull the characters early, then obviously don't need to go to step 25. Now going to 50 steps, yeah, okay, you can get yourselves the other character if you get unlucky, or like get a dupe, but is it worth it? No, because it's fucking 11k orbs. I don't recommend it at all. Just save for the next banner after you're done with Part 1, because after Part 1 we have Part 2, which is a full-on 1,000-Year Blower banner, and we had Toshiro, Sajin, and Soifun. These characters, they should be back as a filler. Why I say this? Well, look, Unohana, Yama, and Chojuro, they were Part 2 of the 8th anniversary, and they came back as fillers. what's stopping Caleb from doing the same thing for Toshiro, Sajin, and Soifun? I can see that happening. Now, that being said, I'll definitely say, unit-wise, Soifun aged the best. Despite my concerns of her lack of guard break, her performance in Guild Quest was perfect. Like, she was doing just fine, even with her SA2 being a boost. It's literally because her SA1 carried, and the fact that she could proc Weaken and Paralysis consistently, and you can get 50 seconds with this character right here. Toshiro, he had a good release, but he just fell so hard, it's not even funny. Like, it's his Killer Plus holding him back. I'm gonna be honest with you guys. Also, no secondary element, like no type of weakening or lacerate or any of that kind of thing. And Sajin, he aged faster. He aged way too goddamn fast for his caliber in PvP. It's not even funny. Now, of course, we're gonna be getting the new characters, and I do expect Core 3 characters finally to get added. And these characters can be anything. But I'll definitely say the filler lineup, it's going to be 10 times better because we should start expecting more anime characters coming back as fillers. So, like, you'll get to see the likes of Ishin again, Kilgay, Tenshi True Shikai, Yu Habak, the Mind one, not this Heart one that you guys are seeing right here. And, of course, a lot of the newer 1000 Year Blower characters that we have gotten from 2024 onward. So, like, you'll see less of these manga characters. But going back on topic of the main units, expect anything. All-Star Ndiki Uryu is going to be potentially one of the characters that we can get from the banner, since he was a very big highlight of Core 3. We could also see Bankai Shunsui, Lige with his Jiliel for the first time in the game. We don't even have him in the game just through the Soul Bomb animation, so like, that can potentially happen, maybe even Nanao. There's a lot of different characters that we can get from Core 3, even though it did have the least amount of fights compared to Core 2, for the amount of episodes it had. So, like, we'll definitely see something. Maybe even Renji. But, we'll see. But yeah, this is the next banner to summon on. When it comes to power-wise, we can expect Part 2 to be just as good as Part 1, or something similar to this, realistically speaking. Now, I do expect a new PvP character to come along the way, so one of them, I do expect it to be either Heart or Technique to block Askin, and Heart just to completely kill off Miller Rose and be another King or Queen, whatever that unit will be for the likes of PvP. We'll just have to wait and see about that, and this is another banner that you guys want to keep into account. So that's another 5,500 orbs when it comes to getting to Pity. Now, of course, if you get lucky and you pull the characters early, then obviously stop and save for the next banner. Because, believe it or not, last year for the first time, we actually had a Part 3. We normally don't get 1000 Year Blower mid-month banners, and considering they did experiment it with Byakuya and Asnot, which was the start of 1000 Year Blower mid-months, well, guess what? The anniversary, they did give us another 1000 Year Blower banner for mid-month. And it was this banner right here with 1000 Year Blower Shinji and 1000 Year Blower Kensei. Now, Shinji has been replaced by VL for his respective Guild Quest rotation, but if you guys even get this character with 2-5 or even 5-5, he's still good. Like, he can clear the Guild Quest, get the extra waves done. He aged better than Holobankai Toshiro, which is not even funny considering this guy was a mid-month character and he lacked the EX move on top of that. It's his Killer Plus as well to take into consideration. Like, he was a fun character, great tech unit. I would still argue for him to be top 5 for tech, realistically speaking. He aged so well. And Kensei, he did not have too much of a good release because he would screw things up with the SA2 to push back the enemy mobs. But ever since then, with the Guild Quest change, they have permanently fixed the mobs positioning so that way it's no longer widespread, and if he hits with the SA2, with the main lead, you'll still be able to kill all the enemy mobs. It still takes a bit of resetting, but it's a lot less annoying compared to how it is now. And of course, they did revamp Guild Quest for the GQ skills, and this guy ended up being better than the Heart Shinji. So this guy, funny enough, I have him 5-5, and he carried me with my 1-5 Sun, and I got 51.4 seconds. Other than that, this is another banner to keep your eye out on, but because it is a ground summons, this time you're gonna need less orbs. Now, if we're taking into consideration going to pity, it's only 5,200 orbs. But let's say you get lucky, you might only need to go to step 10. It depends. It really depends, because you do not get the selector ticket on step 10, but you still get a guaranteed 1,000-year blower character to go along the ride. And to get to step 10, you'll need 2,050 orbs. And don't forget, in step 3 and 6, you get another guaranteed 5-star early. So there's that to take into consideration. And yeah, wow, the pulls are actually way worse. Only Kensei. Oh well, I was just doing the math overall. But yeah, you might need less orbs for this one, but still more orbs that you guys need to take into consideration. And yeah, we have the math tallied up for 4 different banners. But now, lads, I'm gonna be honest, there might be a 5th one that you guys may need to keep into consideration. And this 5th one, now, this was normally considered, for like a lot of fans, the part 3 of the anniversary, even though we were out of the anniversary itself. But this banner in particular was so good that you guys still needed to summon on, regardless of all things. Now, last year it was good because of Kilgay, Bambi, and Eburn, and Kilgay was the strongest heart unit that we had ever gotten in the game, on the same caliber as Unohana. Bambi, she was a nuking menace in Guild Quest before it got changed, and Eburn was just another farmer of the banner, realistically speaking. And this banner was no exception because, okay, we did give a lot of bad critique about Owetsu, thinking that he would be worse than Yuha, but he ended up being so much better that even at just 2-5 before we got Nightmare permanently, he would get 55 seconds. And guess what? In Nightmare, he still gets freaking 52 seconds. At 2-5. It's not even funny. Now, albeit, we'll have to wait and see how his performance is going to be in the new extra waves when he has typing disadvantage. And at 1-5, I'll definitely say he's probably not going to have too much of a good time. You'll definitely need to have Wonderwise, and the problem is you need to get the gauge active fast as hell. But this guy, I think at 2-5 plus 5-5, you can still clear the extra waves just fine. And this guy was still so much better than Parasol Shinji. It's not even funny. And Tenjiro, he's a GQ Nadbot, but goddamn, the fact that he boosts and has Soul Reaper damage to element affected enemies by 30% and buffs any given Soul Reaper. Bro, I've suffered without having this character. Now that I have this character, I feel so good because I'm actually able to get so much better scores just by having this unit overall. Like, this is basically a much better Akon for a lot of different Soul Reapers, and it's not just relegated to freaking speed. So, yeah, that's the crazy thing. So, this is probably another banner you guys might want to consider yourselves. And, yeah, lads, it's going to be a lot of warps. Are you guys ready for the math? Because I'm going to tally up everything else. Now, this depends on how the banner is going to be, because if we get like a GQ lead and you can still clear the guild quest just fine, if we get another Limit Breaker quest character, you guys might skip this banner. We'll just have to wait and see. And then, of course, you guys will probably be in saving mode for the end of year banner. So, yeah. With that being said, let's just go ahead and do the math. So, as we stated, for June mid-month, which should be the prelude to the 10th anniversary, you're going to need 2,000 orbs just to get to step 10. So, that's already a good number. Now, I'm not keeping into account swimsuits, so you guys will need to do that math on your own, but I kind of normally suggest you guys to skip swimsuits and just save for the anniversary. So, yeah, keeping into account all the anniversary banners for part 1, you're going to need 5,500 orbs. So, let's just go ahead and add that up real quick. We're already at 7,500 orbs for both June mid-month and part 1 spent on the anniversary. And then, part 2, we have another 5,000 orbs. So, 5,500. We are talking about a good 13k that you guys need for both June mid-month, part 1, and part 2 of the anniversary. Now, let's say you guys are planning to summon on the mid-month banner, which is part 3 of the anniversary, and you guys only plan to go to step 10 because you at least get one of the characters guaranteed early. So, that's going to be 2,050 orbs. Yeah, we're now at a good 15k total. If you get lucky and get one of the characters early, and you go to step 10, you get the other character, you're basically done. What about the other 1,000-year blower banner that normally drops at the end of August. Keeping into account that you didn't do all the steps, alright, that's another 5,500 if you were to go to pity. Yeah, that's 20k orbs. 20k orbs in total that you guys will need for all of these different types of banners. And if you guys are skipping one banner, of course, it's going to be a lot less. It varies. And let's say for whatever reason, you guys decide to do all 25 steps on the mid-month banner for the anniversary, right? So let's just go back to the 13k orb mark and just tally up the orbs. That's 5,200, so a little bit less orbs. So with that, it's 18k, and if we add the last 5,500, yeah, we're talking about 23,700 orbs that you guys need to save up for the anniversary if you guys want to guarantee the units. So with that, I recommend you guys fucking skip any given banner. Do not summon on anything else. There's going to be a lot of different trap banners, a lot of different bait banners. As not, it's going to be coming back, and I'm going to tell you guys to skip that. Parasol Shinji is going to be returning as well, and I will also tell you guys to skip that. Bravefest reruns are going to be coming our way more often than not, and I'm also going to tell you guys to skip that. I cannot recommend any of you guys to summon on any more bait banners. So with that in mind, I'm going to say one last time, just be very careful. Don't be stupid with your orbs, because it's a lot of fucking banners that we have our way. And that's the end of the video. If you guys have enjoyed it, don't forget to smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell notification, and all that good stuff. And I hope to see you guys all in the next video. So have a pleasant day, lads. I'm sorry if this took a long time to get out, but it's finally out. Anyway, I hope to see you guys in the next one. And yeah, this has been your boy, the Death Smasher, and I'm signing out. So take care, lads. Bye. Sayonara. Ciao, ciao.